Over the years, I've presented at over 100 seminars and workshops, giving the audience a guide to buying tax liens. Most of those attending had no idea how to buy tax liens before I met them. At these live events, I and other successful tax lien investors show the student investors the best methods to buy tax liens to achieve their investment goals quickly. In this next example, Bob Schumacher discusses strategies and methods on how to buy tax lien certificates. As with all investments, there are risks, and the more you know about investing in tax liens, the better prepared you'll be to avoid those risks. To learn more, go to my website, Ted.Thomas.com.
Went back to that county, and this time I had IRA funds. And I thought I'd try the strategy of buying as many liens as I could, kind of at the low end of the dollar spectrum, lots of vacant land, mobile home lots, even some orchard property, and ended up with a couple of them with houses as well. And I was trying to play the numbers game to see if I could end up with property. And so purchased 33 liens. I mentioned some of the strategies. This is another thing of just going to the sale and watching the first few parcels go and see what the bidding strategies are of your competition. And so having been to some of the sales in Maricopa County, I knew that the houses would be bid on the most. And so even in that small county, the properties with houses on them were going, a lot of them for 7 to 10%, some of them 12%. It just depended on the property. But the ones with vacant land, you could get for 14, 15, 16%. But remember, I live in Georgia. I can get 20%, and it's 20% penalty, so it's calculated immediately. It's not a prorated interest rate. So, I didn't have to buy these properties, but I just wanted to see if I could end up with a piece of land in Arizona, and so I gave it a try. So, by being selective, I was able to get 16% on all but 3 of those 33 liens, and the lowest interest rate was 11. I think there was one at 11, one at 13, and one at 14 or something like that. But most of them I got 16% on. There are some pitfalls to the strategy that I employed, because one of the quirks of Arizona is, and you'll find this in some other lien states too, is they charge you a fee of $10 for every lien that you buy. And that fee does not, I repeat, does not get passed on to the taxpayer when the taxpayer redeems. So that's money that you donate to the county for the privilege of attending the tax sale and buying the lien that you will never get back. So if you don't get at least $10 interest by the time that lien redeems, you've actually lost money in that lien. But you just have to be willing to play that numbers game, knowing that you're going to lose money on some of them, but you'll make money on others. And also, I've also noticed that a lot of properties will redeem within a week or two of the tax sale, but the only penalty to them is like 1 month worth of interest. And that's not much at all, so people are willing to let their property go to a lien auction because the cost to them is very low. The consequences are very low of it actually going to a tax sale and them redeeming it the week after instead of the week before. So you're going to find in lien states that pretty often you'll have some of your liens redeem right away. And so you're just thinking, oh, gee, I went to all this work to invest my money, now I got it back. But keep in mind that in Arizona, when June rolls around, you have to pay the subsequent year's taxes. So that's just a 4-month span. So you can take that money that got returned to you and roll it back over in June, roll it back into the properties that you still have tax liens on. And also, another thing that you can do is that if it turns out that there's some decent properties that didn't get bid on at the tax lien sale, usually the ones that get no bids at all are pretty lousy properties. But if you notice that there's some decent properties that nobody bid on, you could take note of that. And if you get some quick redemptions and you have some money you want to roll back over, you can just get on the phone and call the county and say, hey, can I still buy the lien on parcel number such and such? And they say, yeah, that lien's still available. You say, well, I'd like to buy that one, please. How much money do I need to send you? And they tell you down to the penny how much it is, and you send them the money, and you can get the certificate that way over the counter. And you don't even have to go back there to do it. You can do that over the phone. So the $10 lien fee does put you in a dilemma, doesn't it? If you want to buy those, a lien on a piece of farmland or a mobile home lot where the lien only costs you $50 and you got a $10 lien fee, it's going to take a while to accumulate, even at 16%, $10 worth of interest. So you can either play the numbers game, knowing that enough of them are going to wait to redeem or maybe not redeem at all, that it's worth your while, or you can ratchet up and compete against the people who are bidding on houses, because if you are successful in, say, spending $2,000 on a lien on a nice house, well, it won't take that long to get that $10 back, will it? But if you had to bid down to 7 or 8% in order to get that lien, well, maybe that's not an interest rate that you want to get. So that's the things you have to balance against, and everybody here is going to make a different decision if you go to a lien sale here in Arizona. You just got to say, well, what are my philosophies on how I want to invest my money, and everybody here will probably come to a different conclusion. And there's no wrong answers here. It's just that you have choices, and some of the choices are thrust upon you because of that $10 fee there that kind of throws a wrench into everything. You just need to know that it exists, and you will have to pay it when you buy a lien.